Praise the Lord. I wish all of you a blessed day. I'm so happy and privileged to share the journey of my life. I'm Sister Carmely Thaniath, belonging to the congregation of the Sisters of Charity. I belong to a very large family of 11 children. Out of 11 of us, 4 of us have dedicated our lives in the service of the Lord. My 2 brothers are priests, and my sister, just older to me, also a religious sister, and myself. Till my 10th class, I never had any desire to join the convent. I studied from 1st to 7th a government school. High schooling was done in a school that was run by the Carmelite sisters. When I was in 9th and 10th class, sisters used to ask me whether I'm interested to join the convent. I used to escape from them. Then near my house also there is a hospital where JMJ sisters were working. Even they used to ask me whether I would like to join them and to be a sister. Such moments I used to be so scared, thinking this is not meant for me. Religious life or to become a sister, it is only for saints. I felt very unworthy of becoming a sister. So much so, any time when sisters come close to me, I used to just escape because I am scared that they will ask me to join the convent. Then after 10th standard, I was asked by a religious sister belonging to the same school to attend a vocation camp. To be obedient to her, I just joined that camp, wherein nearly 57 congregation sisters came and spoke about the religious life. Even then, I did not feel that this life is for me. So my father was trying to admit me to a college, a very famous college, prestigious college run by the Carmelite sisters in the Saint Teresa. So college I got admission. Since it is very far from my house, they wanted me to join the hostel. Everything was ready. Just 3-4 days before going to the hostel, I began to hear from within me someone calling me, telling me constantly, "Come away, come away." These words or these invitations, I just couldn't resist. Wherever I went, whatever I did, only these words were coming to me. Come away, come away. I didn't realize who it is, where I have to go, but it was disturbing me. And at that particular time, just previous to of my going to the hostel, a priest, Father Joseph Kuttikal, he was the vocation promoter for so many sisters and fathers. He is also the rector of my brother who was already in the seminary at that time. He just came to visit my home. So I spoke to him about this, what was happening to me. I said, "Father, from some days I'm hearing this voice, come away, come away. I'm not able to resist. I'm trying to escape. I'm trying to forget. I'm trying to close my ears. But the more I do it, the more this voice I can hear." Then Father said, "This is God calling you. Why don't you join the convent?" I told him, "Father, I'm so scared. I don't think I am meant for that." Then he said, "I will direct you." So he asked me whether I'm ready for now. But my parents told me maybe it is good that after intermediate you can join. But this feeling that I had, or the call I was hearing now and then, come away, come away, come with me, come with me. It was so louder and I couldn't resist. I told, I am ready even now. So immediately he contacted the provincial of the Sisters of Charity belonging to the Secunderabad province. Father asked whether I am ready to go to Secunderabad. Actually, he told me many names, many congregation names, many places name, even abroad. Somehow when I heard the word Secunderabad, I said yes. Then whatever it was kept ready for me to go to the hostel, I just took that. And meanwhile, this father told me, there is a sister who has come down from Secunderabad. She is staying in Alleppey. Your provincial want to go and meet her. So immediately the next day, early morning, my father took me to Alleppey to meet this sister who has come from Secunderabad. Her name is Sister Celine. She is the sister of famous film producer and director Kunjako. So I met her. She was very happy to see me. Then she told me that I can go to Secunderabad. So this vocation promoter, Father Joseph Critical, gave me a letter. And with that letter, my father arranged the ticket immediately. He accompanied me to the convent. Even in the train, I was feeling this life is not meant for me. I will not be able to become a sister. I had a lot of fears. I was feeling so unworthiness, but the call again, hearing, come away, pulled me, came to the Secunderabad railway station early morning after 2 days journey, because at that particular time we had to shift one train from Madras to Secunderabad, from Ernakulam to Madras. That is how we were traveling at that particular time. This happened in 1978. I came to the convent, St. Francis Convent, the place where I am seated now. I came near the gate. At that particular time, one sister was near the gate. She saw me with one suitcase and a trunk and my father. So she thought that I am come to seek for an admission. And I was looking very small at that time in a short skirt and a top. She asked me some questions which I was not able to answer because I didn't know neither English, Telugu, Hindi or any language except Malayalam. She directed me to the principal's office, and this is what she told the principal. This girl doesn't know one word of English, no other language. She's come to seek admission. So they all looked at me and they smiled and they said, it is not possible. But something inspired me to show the letter that father had given me. I removed my bag and that letter I handed over to sister. So that principal, at that time it was Sister Romana Picado. She read the letter, then she said, oh, this girl has come to join the convent. Everybody was so happy to hear that I come to join the convent. Immediately they directed me to the provincial and the superior of the house. They were very happy to see me. They asked me some question. I just said yes, no, that's it. My father stayed with me one day. Next day he left me and went. In that particular batch, I was the first one. Without knowing a word of English or any other language, I was put in the boarding here. All the children were talking different languages. There were nearly 200 children. They used to come and ask me some questions which I was not able. But somehow, being with them, I started picking up the language. After 1 month, 2 more candidates joined. Thus began the journey to religious life. There were many difficulties because new place, everything was new, beginning from language to food to culture, everything. Always I felt within me, I will not be able to make it. But the next moment what I felt is the words, the voice that I was hearing, be with me, be with me, began to get adjusted. Since I was very young, just 15 years completed when I came, and they found I'm very small to join, so they told me to do intermediate, joined going to classes. Actually, I was sitting in the library with the 2 other candidates came, we 3 of us were learning, because we did not understand much of the classes and all. Just we learned by ourselves. Some sisters used to come and dictate something. We were not given a special training or anything. Somehow 2 years went by, picked up language. Then it was time for me to join the postulancy. So after 2 years of being candidate and 2 years of intermediate, I went home, came back, then became a postulant. In our batch we were 18, coming from different states. It was tough to live together, 18 of us coming from different families and cultures and traditions and all that. What always strengthened me and sustained me was that feeling, someone is always there with me, calling me towards. I never knew it was Jesus, but I knew there was a power, there was a divine presence in me. And I used to love to pray. And when I was doing this intermediate, I have seen so many students having the retreat, some charismatic prayers were going on in the hall. That is how I started a liking towards this prayer. Postulancy got over, joined the novitiate. In the novitiate, we were just 16 of us. 2-3 of them left even from the novitiate. Finally, we were just 11 of us got vested. Novitiate was a beautiful time where I learned to pray, to read the Bible, learned so many other works. It was the most beautiful time, I can say, because our mother mistress was very, very saintly. She used to lead us, guide us. She was a mother to me. I learned so much from her, especially her life. What she taught us, she was living. So that was a great inspiration for me. I can almost say that I tried to be like her in my ways. After, in the novitiate, I wasn't keeping that well. I had some kind of a skin problem, heavy bleeding. Then they had to decide whether I can continue the religious formation or not. So this some skin disease, like some kind of a boils used to come on me, very painful. It has to be, cut, and I used to undergo a lot of pain. So it was constantly affecting me. So sisters were worried about me. Somehow the doctor said, after some years it will be all right. She can become a sister. So the first test was passed. I finished my temporary profession. After that I came. First community was once again this place, St. Francis. I was placed in the library. I helped the librarian. For nearly 9 months I stayed here. Then I went to Begumpet, enrolled myself for the BA course, finished 3 years of graduation. During the 3rd year, I was placed as in charge of the postulants. Postulants, they come to join the sisters, so to look after them, to train them, to teach them. I never had any training for it. All that I learned in my formation, especially during the novitiate, I just transmitted the same training to the postulants. It continued for some years. I was there in the provincial house. That time from Secunderabad, the provincial house was shifted to Begumpet. I continued there to be 11 years. During the 11 years, 3 years of graduation. 1 year I did the spirituality course in Italy about our institute. Then 7 years I was in charge of the postulants. During this 11 years, again I had the problem of health, continuous bleeding, non-stop severe bleeding, cause nobody was able to find out. What they said was maybe some hormonal imbalance. So I used to take so much of medicine, injection, all those kind of a thing. And at the end of a few years, I got some kind of a gland which was diagnosed as TB, tuberculous gland. Before that, as a young sister also, I had a patch which was diagnosed as a leprosy patch. 5 years I was taking treatment for that. Then just before I could make my perpetual profession, they said maybe it is dangerous for me to continue in religious life with this leprosy patch and this infection. It is contagious, others may get. So I was sent to a Victoria hospital in Nizamabad, leprosy hospital. There the doctors thoroughly examined me, went through all my record. They said it could have been a wrong diagnosis or it is healed, so I can continue in religious life. So just before my vestation, there was a doubt about my continuing in religious life, just before even my perpetual profession. But God stood by me, and with the encouragement of the doctors, they said, this is healed, I can continue.